Baffled, bamboozled by what I do, can't see through the screen. For me, everything is just turned green. The minute I take that yellow light that I'm sitting in and put on my green welding glasses, that whole yellow light becomes lime green. One element. So that's what it does. It's science. We're from the future. Our element of surprise is the spirit passageway, which is a hole. It's nothing more than a passageway in order to receive the vibration within 1 and 5. 1 and 5, the bullhorns are 1 and 5. In between is 2, 3, 4. We come from the other nation. We must come from the other side of the 8-ball, the stripes and the solids, the zebras and the lions. Zebras in black and white. They live in New Zealand and stand for zero. Zero. Z-E-R-O. O-R in French is gold. It also says number 44. Because it's at the end of the word. The O letter is the 15th letter. It's a very bizarre letter because it does so many things. It has a value of 0.15. It has a value of 15 and 1.5. It does everything to do with 1.5 divide, and whatever you can do, it's all about 0. Anytime you see 0, if you walk into pi, okay, and you see 0, do you understand it as an 8? Saying I am the digital above the 8? Because the minute you see 0, or this dot, which is actually 1, there's a circle band around it that you don't see. Because this 1 is 360 degrees of its totality of where it lives. 360 degrees this way, but this way 360 degrees cuts all corners and takes little d's of every part. D, 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 D. Creation, 9 and 0. Because the angle of the rainbow, okay, is found in the 9 and the 0 key. So I need in pool to say we need to play 2 games of pool. I'm playing against you, but we need the playoffs in order to have a band in the center, understanding the way to the 7 seeds. The seed, not the 7, the seed. 6 turns upside down, 9 and 6, and it grows. Everything in 7 is 4. It's in between these 2 corners and those 2 corners, and 360 times 90 divided by 90 is 4. 9 is the number we work with in the world because we can't go above 9 and 4 is 13. But to make the complete angle, this perfect angle that we mark, whichever way you want to call it, is it the 45-degree angle and over here, or would you say 135 degrees, or is it this angle here? Do you remember a lion's pictures goes from here to here and then from here to here? So where am I starting with right now? So what you have is you have 3 and 4 to 7 DC, which comes from 1 and 3. Look at that angle now. 1, 3, 4 angle. You went from 1 to 4, but the only way to go to 1 to 4 is to go 3 to 5. And then to 4. 3 and 5 is 8 and 4 is 12. In order for me to do the same thing, in order for 3 and 4 to create the same replica, 1 above, 1 below, 3, 6, 9, 3, 3, 6, 9, 3, 3, 6, 9, 3. Your next one is 3. 9 and 3 is 12. 9th letter is I. 3rd letter is C. 12th letter is L. CL, to see earth. Or ciel, in French, says the sky. 9 and 4 is 13, 3 and 4 is 7, 9 by 4 is 36 and 13, 9 by 4 is 36 and 13, 49, 7 times 7. 3 and 4 was 7. We went through 5, but we don't use 2, because 2 is over here. This one directs 2, 4, 6, 8 all the time. How does it direct 2, 4, 6, 8? This is Rubik's Cube. Just turn Rubik's Cube. The one in the center controls all of these. See, this is the half world, and this is the quarter world. 2 different systems. One might be inside the differential, the other is a clutch, 2 different kinds of gears. Do you see the 8? Do you remember I was talking about the 0 before? because the 0, okay, is located in the operator key. There's another 0 goes on top of this. Another one goes on top of this. This counts for all the exterior numbers but the 5. This counts for everything that the 5 does. On the telephone, this area will be a 0. Put these two together, you got dot and 0 within each other. The 5 position sits around 8. 5 and 8 is 13 and is in the center. 2 and 5 is 7 in the center. 1 and 6 is 7, the same as 6 and 7 is 13. 3 and 4 is 7, the same as 9 and 4 is 13. 8 and 5 is 13, the way 2 and 5 is 7. The way 1, 2, 3 equals 6, but it actually equals 186. Why? Because this is the 5 position. But I just want to show you that I'm having a hard time. Doesn't this look like the 5 position to you? Put that 1 in the 5 position right there, and you call that 1, 6. Because it's the one you look at. For the one spot you're looking, you make all positions through 1. This is the spindle that spins 6, 4 ways and 2 ways. While you're spinning 4, 2 stands still inside of Rubik's Cube, making that spindle 4 and 2, moving by 5. The 5 area moves all sides, right? But it only moves 4 of the inside. It's always moving this way or it's moving this way. No, reality, it's all the same, but we have to see it as if it's not moving. If you put it down and say, okay, what side is it? Well, you'll look, and that's the side you see. So you need to change 3 sides. Now, once you move it, you have 3 chances to move it. You move it 1, 2, 3. The 4th one, you're back where you started. You have 3 years to make it to the leap year, and on the 4th year, you got it back. Where the center of winning a Stanley Cup championship is all about 7 games, but when you hit 4, it's all over. How many losses can a team get before the series is over? 4. How much can a team win? 4. If a team wins 3 games out of a 7-game series and it's over, the other team won 4. One gets 4 wins, the other one gets 4 losses. One gets 3 wins, the other one gets 3 losses. So no one gets more than 3 without taking it to the next level. You know, if you're going into the shotgun, what game are you playing? So we're going to bring back this again. So if you notice, all the worlds are that, but the opposition world, 1 and 9, and 3 and 7, that's 10. 10, 10. Want to see something funny? I'm just going to look at this. 25,920 of the Mayan divided by our favorite number. Whoop, didn't come out. 25,926. Whoop. 25,926. It's supposed to be 920, but you can't because it's really 92. It's 2592, which means Jack is connected, which is 26Z, which is the heart of man. Here, what happens, okay, is it's 0.6, or it's 25, 9, and the 9 divides the 2 and the 6. The reason for that is because of the middle number. You're either living in 6, 9, or you're living in 4, excuse me, you're either living in 6914, or you're 4769, 9, 11, 14 and 96, 9 and 1, 4 and 6, 10, 10. How about 365, 47, 365 days, Jesus Christ of time. Those are those numbers. How about 1, 2, 5, 8, 9? 8 and 9 creates Abba Father, which is the birth in the high heaven. 89, 8 by 9, 72 of the 360 degrees. You know why we're the 360 degrees? That's it. With this dot that we insert in the center and become 101, okay, why? Because it's 7, then it's 10, and then it's 13 with the 4. 9 and 4 is 13. Your birth to the 4 corners. The dot in the 4 corners makes you 90 degrees of 360. Why? Because we use 9, 18, 27, and 36 to equal that 90 of who we are to 7th gateway, 90 and 70. 70, this one over here, is very simple. You see that 7? Did I say 70? Hold on a second. Did I say 70? Is that 7? Okay. Okay, I said 70. I put 7, and there's you go. There's the D. 7D. Well, that's not right. What do you mean? There's your D, and there's your 7. You mean D for dam? And when we play cards, the queen is a dam? And a V is for a valet saying Jack. Jack, queen come together to create one king. You put around the flower, my friends. How do we hook the flower? It's right here, is it not? The bow tie in the neck, the flower, the gland that's in the front over here. So we have connected the queen into the jack. So let's go back to these calculations, okay? So this calculation over here was 25,926, not 20, because you're not here. Look, first level, second level, third level, 7. Look, everyone is by 3. So the next one, you have to start over and you have to come here. That's 10. Then you go to 13 equals 4. Then you go to 16 equals 7. Then you go to 19. There is no 19, so 1 and 9 now crisscross here. You've gone all the way around, back to 1. Now 1 went to 5 and 9. It rode its way around the ball, and after it got once around the ball, it went all the way up 159 over here. Now you got 19, you got 22, you came to the next level. 22 is 25, 25 is 28. 28 is another 10, 2 and 8. You've now completed 2 sides. Now you add 3 more, you have 31. Now you connect the corners. Then you connect the next row and you get your next angle, 3, 4, 5, 7. 1 and 3 is 13. The number you wanted to get, 7, 10, 13. Now you got it. After you get 31, you need 34, and then you need 37. That's another 10. That's your Nibiru on this corner. This is the corner of Nibiru. W, okay? W, and then this one over here. If you draw this separately, and then put this one up over here, it becomes the diamond on top of the shin. This would be the W. Inside the Hebrew language, there's no W, but the shin, that sounds like S and H for a standard spirit heaven, okay, is S and H, but you write it in Hebrew as a W. You have the 9 holding suit right here. Then after you get 37, you get 40. So now you're here and here. Then you get 43, it's here and here. Then it's 46, then it's 49, and then it's 52. And then it's 55, and then it's 58. And then it's 61, 6 and 1 is 7. And then it's 64, 6 and 4 is 10. And then it's 6 and 7, 6 and 7 is 13. That's a perfect pyramid. And then you get 70. So now you've got the high and the low 7. There's 2 things about 7. If it's on the left side, because there's more than one 7, there's another 7 on this board, okay? You don't see it, right? The 7, okay, is it, I can't explain how it's a gateway to, look, how is a gateway to, is it 3, 1, 3? I'm not really sure. I can't use it that way, but it's the left 7. How do we make the left 7? I'm going to try and do this simple. The left 7 is done like this, 1, 0, 1. Okay, now you're on that side, right? You're on that side, and I'm on this side. So this is yours, right? Actually, let me mark. I'll show you. Yours is in red, right? Like Cinderella, Cinderella, the sin. This is your number, okay? And my number is going to be in blue, and this is my number. So now you write down your number, and this is your number. I'm going to write this down for you. I'm going to put a line. We're going to be on the same level. You're going to be on this side over here. You're over here looking at your number, right? Okay, and here's your number. There you go. That's your number, 0, 1. And then on my side, I write down my number, 1, 0, and there's my number. So now, let's take away 3. Well, if you're taking away 3, I have to get 3. So you take away 3, and you become 7. I add 3, and I become 13. But your 7 looks to me to say low, like in low shoe. See the way terms, this also will create the V within it. Love. inside its own word. This is the G letter. This is the J letter. Right away, J and G in the French language, they switch. In the French language, when you walk up to a French person and you want to say, which kind of word, great, you're going to say superbe. But there are other words that they use the G that they just literally, they say jouet, okay, which is a G, is a J, it's jouet. But there's other words. Which are the words? Whatever, regardless, 7 and 10. 0, 7, and 10, 1, 0. They become a match link 66. All zeros equal 6 to the right. They equal 6 to the left. Why? Because if 10 was in the middle, and you needed to remove 4, okay, from 10, on the left it'll say 6. But if you put it to the right, it'll say 10. $25,000. We were at number 70 before, right? 926 divided by the number of man. Whoop, something happened. 25,962. 25,926 divided by, let's try 6. 4, 3, 2, 1. If you want to say 0, 4, 3, 2, 1, that is jail, my friends. Okay, now you go the other way, 4, 3, 2, 1 the other way, and it's number 44 to the passage gate of number 3223, JF, Barack Obama, B and O, 2 and 15th letter sitting on B and O rail in Monopoly between Kentucky. B and O rail near Kentucky, New York. The Preakness. The breeder, the crown this year, the super crown for the horses this year, the Belmont Stakes. The Belmont Stakes and the Preakness. I'm sitting next to a fireplace and out of nowhere, this guy first of all, I'm listening about the Belmont Stakes came in yesterday and it's been rallying in my head for about a month or 2 or 3. And all of a sudden I asked my son, and usually he refuses to take out his phone and look up, because I might have asked the question the right way. I says, where is that? What is the name of that? The Preakness, what is that, a Triple Crown? And then all of a sudden I walk into the garage and the gentleman next to the fireplace starts talking about, oh my God, there was so much snow in Kentucky, and it was so snowy in Kentucky, and the trucks in Kentucky, and the truck in Kentucky, and the driver in Kentucky, and the horses in Kentucky. We haven't had really anything since 1974. 1974 divided by 2. 987 and 789 is 777. It is the unlocking. 67, 70, we went to 73. We did 37. You remember before we did 37? Now we do 73. 37, 710. 3, 7, 7. And how do we get to the 7 world out of this? 40, 40. Do you follow me? 3, 7. I need to get to the 7 world, so I put a 4 here and I can't do anything here. I have to put a 0. So by putting a 0 here, I acknowledge the 5 position. I acknowledge the 5 position, that there's a passage within 5 and the 1 must go. So 1 goes over here. So this 7 becomes a 6 now. It becomes 6, 7, becomes 13. And now the AC power is connected. That 13 becomes DC because 1 and 3 is 4, and now you have your angle, whichever way you want to do it. And then anyways, we went 73, and then we get 76. Just like I said, just after. Then we get 79. 7 and 9 is 16. 1 and 6 is connected to 6 and 7. 13 and 7. 79, left and right. This one, 1 and 8 becomes the H. This one is 3 and 9. This one is C, and this one is E, 5 and 3. Why? Because on the piano, if you move 2 more from C, you go to DE. Forget about what the 9 says. So you got E and I. E and I is 5 and 9. E and I equals 5959 in the center position. EI, 59 minutes, 59 seconds. Einstein, E and I, E5, I9 connects to the 14N. How do we make that N? We go up here, down here, and through 1, 5. We connect 1 to 4 to 2 to 5. 5, 7. And then we connect N again. We go to 5. And then we go down to 2, over to 6, and down to 3. Down to 5, but this is a backwards N. This N from one side is 14. Because we run the other N from the inside, this is 41. I went from here to here to here to here to create the N. Okay, we can do it the other way to see what the reverse looks like, okay? Now, when I want to create the same N, I went down here and I'm sitting up here. What's the only way to do it? I can go this way if I want, okay? But then that's a Z. So I take it from here and I go down here and I go backwards. And one way is 14, the other way is 41. And we create N and N together. It shows me the line in the center is the M now. You now no longer need the 2. You just need to create the M. 1, V1, federation, 4, 5, 6, 1, V, V and 1, 4, 5, and 6. To the right and the left of 5, to above and below, 28 time heaven. This is 10 and this is 10. They both recreate, they both need 3 to make 13. They both need -3 to make 7s. So we're at 79, now we get to 82, we've driven into the moon. 82 becomes 85, we have the silver light of the silver spirit that spins around, let's call it Maldek, and gives us a bad headache inside our head because we can no longer streak, we got too much energy, silver streak. Then after 85, we got 88. And then 88, my friend, comes like this, and then like this, becomes that big number 3. Comes all the way up, all the way over, all the way this way, and a line through here, making your E and your C in each other. Because I'm using these numbers, you're using the in-between now, the passageway, the difference. So when we went to 88 and bingo, 91, we have the reverse. The reverse of 19, 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 is 3 and 4 DC. 3 times 4, 3 plus 4 equals 19. We've now connected both sides of 8. After creating 88, we connect both sides of 8, 9 and 1. The reality is 1 plays from the 5 hole. 3, 1, and 5 says ace cat. 3, 5, and 7 is rotation. 3 by 75 is 225, which is 15 times 15. 3 by 57 is 150, 171, the gateway. See, it's on the one side. This is on one side. This is on one side. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. Tell me when to stop. 3, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36, 39, 42, 45, 48, 40, 50, 51. Okay, 17 times 3 is 51. Now we have back to the gateway. At 51, area 51, we have the gateway, A and H, in which in piano, the 7th key touches the A key to create the H key. But G will come to G. G in level 1 is G. Or G in the 7th in the 0 level, because it's G in its own before going anywhere in piano. But G1 would be 14. G2 would be 21. G3 would be 28, the moon. G4 will be 35, connecting electric company. G5 will equal to, G5 is 35. G6 connects 42. 2 and 4 connects the X. 2, 4, 5, 1, 6 and 6. 42 connects. If 42 connects, you connect 1 and 5. You know why? You lightened up the 3 area. You see, 1 and 5 is not in the area, but we need to bring it in. How do we bring it in? When 2 meets 4, remember, here's a 4, but it does nothing until the dot is in the center of it. We need the dot in the center. That's you. We enlighten 1 and 5, and in between here and here, what would the average be? Is 3. 1, 3, 5. A, C, E lights up the bad cat. This is your first X. This whole thing plays around each other, and all it does is repeat. The only one that changes is anything to do with adding up the 10 and this over here. This becomes black, red. This is red, black, red, black, red, black, red, black. That's the way it is. 1 is red, 10 is black, 19 is red, 28 is black, 37 Nibiru is red, 46 is black. The box, that's over here. Here's the box. Okay. So then we had your 10, 19. We had 91, then we have 94. 94 flipped up is 47. So now we have that angle into this connection 13. Since we had that connection 13, we have this connection 7, which brings in, you see, it's easy to talk about all these connections because anybody can do that, that's for sure. But we have to bring terms to certain things. We have to understand, what does it do? What the numbers say. Number 64 says 0. Anything, any dot inside 0 is everything that's around it. Okay, 360 degrees. That automatically has to have a 4. So you need 40. So since the dot goes in the center position 5, which brings it in the light, right? You have the 4 corners. 5 and 4 is 9. That brings 1 life into it, equals 10. Although you have the passage hole, you also have what's coming in the passage. The 1 light that lights up all those candles for Hanukkah, Passover, and Yom Kippur. 360 degrees, you are the total light that's spinning within your cylinder. Cinderella, the ashes that burn in the fire of light. As you come in, you burn up. You go to the bathroom because that's who you were. That's who you are. Because the information burns up and it turns and churns all your foods into information that passes through your system, only so we can tell everybody what they have to do. That's how your body lives. Your body lives the same way your mind lives. It's continuous. It's coming in all the time. It's momentary, secondary thought. So now we had 94, which is also Uranus. 94 is now 94 crisscrossing in low shu is now replaced by Neptune. 94, we get to 97. We once had 79. Now we have 97. 9 by 7 is 63 creation. That makes 9 again. 9 plus 7 is 16. We bring in the light. 1 and 6 now create 76. It's only the combination of what goes on here and understanding some certain rules like the 7, 10, 13 world where it's 101. You go to the left or the right, what happens? 4 from any direction. I add 6 to anything that's 0 because it brings in a life. If it didn't bring in a life, it was 0 alone, I would put 5. If the number is above 6, I'll put this one. Below 6, I'll put this one. If the number is 6 or above, I'll put this one because there's a life within. So what will 0 be? What will be 0? It depends what these two numbers are over here, or the next 2 3 numbers on each side, 3 1 3. So when you're looking at pi and you see a 0, well, 0 is not 0. Is this not 0? Is this not 0? And here's that dot for 360 degrees, 90 degrees at a time. But you don't need this 90 over here because that's you. That's your life upside down. Here's your waste. Don't waste me time. There's your V1. I'm a K star. Okay, so we have all these 4, right? 360 by 9, the same 94. The same 94 that I just did right over there. 9 and 4, 9 and 7. Then we have 100. 100 is 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1. That's what you actually have. You have these over here, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 1, 1. Now we take these 3 6s together, okay, and we go 1881. Or we take this and we put on this side, we go 12, we go 3. We take this one, put on this side, we got 12, we go 3. Then over here we go 1, 3, 3, 1. 11 times 11 times 11 is 1331. Why did we do this? Because we're assuming that this is not, these are the bricks, my friends. Here's the bricks and mortar. Here's the bricks and mortar. You want to build, we have to build. We have to build. We have to make our staircases. How high can we go? The Olympics say, in the Olympics, this is the way it was. There was one on top, and second and third were usually pretty close by. And you know what? From your side, there's, look, you're on top. No, you're on top. Meanwhile, I'm standing this way. You're standing this way. and here's the head over here. And here, let me just move this down. There you go. Okay, you see that? You know what that is? How come I got a wire? It's right in front. Oh, I'm trying to look for an hour for that. Okay, you see this? You see this? You're either doing this or this. This one is either doing this, okay, or this, okay? But this one in the center, right? This one there's one group here, okay? There's one group here, and then there's this group in the center. Okay, and then this is the way it is. This is the 3 card. This is the 4 dice, or the 5 card. In the 5 card, if you really take a look good, these 2 are only in the 2 card. They don't show up anywhere. Okay, the lower and the upper. Why? Because Venus, the way I see it, Venus has to go 2 to 4 to 6 to 8. Well, wait a second, it can't. So Venus, this card, this number, and this number would be 0, 2. This number would be 11. Always 9 apart. Always 9 apart. Because we're the 9 that's on the other side of the 8. The 0, the original 0. When you write 2 zeros together, in fact, we don't have to put zeros. Okay, 2 systems. Okay, 2 systems. Here's the 2 systems, right? There's one system, let me see if I got this right. Yes, there's one system that's over here. And there's one system, I made it too big, that's over here. Okay? It's divided by this. Okay? I should have did it this way. It was not supposed to be done. Let me do it a little different. There's 2 systems. Is this the way it's done? No, that's still too much. Okay, like that. There's 2 systems. There's one system here that runs with this dot over here. And there's one system here that runs with this dot over here. Okay, these 2 dots, okay, that run together. You see what happened just now? Here's a 6 and here's a 9. But after you do the 9, you have your automatic 7 once this connects. Once this connects here to here. This connects here to here, this connects here to here. And there's a lightning bolt in the center that connects the 2. Now I'm a little off subject. Let me just finish where I was at. So now we went to 100. We get to 103, and that's Mercury, which becomes 163. 163. 6 days, 1 day, and 3 days. 6 days times 16. 6 days times 16 hours awake. 3 days times 16 hours awake, and 1 day for the part of God, 16 days of light. 16 equals the light. 16 equals the light. What is so special about 16? Okay, 6 and 1 are the only 6 and 1. Every dice in this board is equal to this. Every dice in the board is equal to this, except for these 2 dice right here. And wouldn't you believe it, that 6 and 6 in a casino game of craps is 30 to 1 creation, and 1 and 1 is the same thing, and this one pays 3 and 4 to 1, both 7s. 2 dice, 3 dice equal 13. 4 dice equal 14. 27 red. How about playing BALL? 27. How about Cinderella? We do know what the R does, right? DV is an R, creates 70. 70 becomes 76, and 70 is a representation of Mars. Mars is 70, and Jesus Christ is 74 in Jupiter. 78, which is the gateway to the heaven or hell, because it doesn't matter, it's one door, right? 78 is a representation of Uranus and Saturn. 82 is time heaven, a representation of Venus and Neptune. 86 is a representation of the connection between 8 and 6 is man, 14. And here is your 8. And on the other side of the dice, you have 3 on one side, 5 and 6 on the other side, 2 and 4, 3, 8, 11, 6. See, every 8, if I just turn it around, we'll have a 6. This side will be 1 and 2, and 5 and 6. 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 are 7 and 7. 5 and 6 in the same game, about 7. The same game I was talking about 7 just before is 11. The opposite of 11 is 1 and 2. That's a loss. These two, okay, become 8 and 7. 8 and 5 is 13. 7 and 6 is 13. 13, 13. You follow the game of craps? This is the game of craps. We take this dice. 7 is a win on the rollout, or 11 is the win. If the 11 is the win, what else can the 11 do? Well, the loss is 1 and 2. On one side, it's 6. On the other side, it's 8. The odds on 8 are 7 and 6. The other odd on 8 is 101. Why? 806. What's in between that is a 7. But if we don't know what's in between it, if we have to get to the halfway point, we have to minus 1 from the 8, and we have to add 1 to the 6 to get to the 7. If we had a 4 and a 9, okay, the 4 and the 9 are not opposites of each other. Here's the 4, here is the 5. Okay, there's your 9. There we have 5, 12, 9. The 4 and the 8, the 4 and the 9 I said is 13, right? So we can't have it because it goes over 12. So the 4 and the 9 do not work. So what if I had 4 and 9 is 13. What if I had, wait, we had 8 and 6. You see, because 5 and 9, okay, 5 and 9, 5, 12, 9. See, they're 12 is on one side. We need 7, so we need 1s. This is 30 to 1. That's 30 to 1. This is 7 to 5. 57, 75. EIEIO is 9 and 5. 9 and 5. 9 and 5. This one is creation, 30 to 1. This is creation, 30 to 1. If it's 30 to 1, 15 to 1 each. The O. It's all about the O. It's about the O because the O has the dot in it for life. That gets 6. What do all the other O's get? Well, when there's one life, we're bringing life all the time. Everybody lights up. Everybody lights up to 1. So when we bring 1 and 4 together, it's because we're bringing this 4. Now let's understand, here's the pieces that we're missing. There's a 7 and 4 on this side, and there's a 3 and 6 on this side. Okay? How can we move these two up a level and over, and these two over and down? Well, it's pretty simple. Okay? This one over here, let's count. 1, 4, 7. Now we have to add 4 to the 7 to become 11. 1 and 1 is 2. Now we went 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16. Okay? 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16. 1 and 6 equals 7. 19, I think we have to start from here. 19, 22, 25 equals 27. The 25th letter is Y, and we end up on the 9, and that's also a Y. And no, that's not what I wanted to talk about. I got off track. Oh, yes, okay. Sorry about that. I took it a little far. 1 to 5 is how much? 4, right? 5 plus 1 is 4 plus 1 is 5. 4 plus 1 is 5. Very good. Okay. There are only 3 numbers in between. The number 2, the number 3, and number 4 is in between right here. But right now we see them over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Between here and here, the only one is 1. So 1 comes over here and is the center between 2 others equaling to 3, saying 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1. 2 times 2 is 4. 1 passes between 2 and 4 because they give you 2 numbers, but one of the answers is always how the question comes out, like like Jeopardy or something. Now, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. 1 blank 3, 5 blank 7, 9. 3 blank 4, 5 blank 6. 4 and 6 come over here. Up over here is 6. Down over here is 4. 4, 6. 6, 4. 10, 10. So that's how numbers move. And the number right here, 3, and the number over here, 4, equals to LD in world, the golden world of AC. Gold and LD, LD is 3 and 4. Do you know what this is? This is number 12 and number 4. This equals, this one here, I just noticed it now, equals to number 12 and 4. Why? Because the 9 is what gets divided, okay? And purple, okay, in the pool game is 4 and 12. It creates the abolite, the 4 corners, okay, 4 corners, 0, it's 0, 4, and 12 of these 2 rows. These 2 rows connect to make this, to light up this one over here. So you follow, you drag what I do. I mean, it's 40 minutes. I came here and I'm never sure. I don't never know what to do. This is. I can write and write and write and write. This is. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's nothing at all. But anyways, I came out here to bring a 1-minute video to show where I get some of my information. It's not only that. On this telephone, where these numbers are, I will create an equation that will equate all of these alike to fit in to the regular numbers that are already out there. The ruler, the metric system. Time is in 100 hours, minutes, where a half an hour is $50, because that's a half 100. Where 50 cents is put on the right side of 2 dots if there's a dollar sign included. Where I walk into the bank and they put a comma or they separate 3 numbers. For every time you have 3 numbers, understanding in the game of roulette that wherever you place a bet, if I put a bet right on here and don't touch any other numbers, isn't it perfect the right size it is? I make that center bet. That's 35 to 1. 1, 3, 5 says ace. If I make it right on 4, 7, that's 17 to 1. That's the gateway of the heavens. Why? 1 and 7 is 8, and it reconnects G to A for the first time that G meets A. Because although G is last, in the piano, it meets A for the first time. So the gateway for the one angel is met inside the heaven, but he doesn't come in till B. Second B that comes out is behind. So we have I, we have A, we have H, and we have G, E, I, G, H, T. How much more do we need? A and B. B is a representation after you finish the first range. After you finish the first range, put a 0. After you finish the second row of numbers, put another 0. So after you do 14 numbers, you have 2, 0, 0, because you did 2 rows. You did the whole circle is 7, because the most you can count on here is 6 and 1. You show me a way to fill in all these numbers at once, unless you take one dice and you turn it sideways. But that's a whole other world. You can do it right here. You can turn it sideways and put that in here, and it fills up the center. But one's a 90-degree world on the cross, and the other one's a square world. One's where you go corner to corner. One's where you go up and down and across. One becomes the plus. The other becomes the multiply. I didn't create this reality. It's what can be done. I did the art. I did the art. Based on the elements, it only looked good to me if I can actually see something in my own reality, in my own reflection. That is the roulette board on the floor, my friends. Okay? There's more than one way to do everything. And a little bit from the ceiling. Just a quick look. Just a quick look. And then the bedroom and the bedroom. And the kitchen. And the fridge. And the counters. Everything, my friends. I turn everything into something from what reality we can do. To understand the softness of the paintbrush, to how I can turn on the paint, whether the paint is going to move off the floor or drag. Because then I can call it the drag queen. But just remember that every number says something. Right now, Kentucky and the Triple Crown, and we're looking for something new from 1974. How did Secretariat come to be? Because that's the big thing. The secret of the heirs. is in the horses. The penicillin, what pharmaceuticals could do. 4 times 4 is 16P. 4 plus 4 is H, P and H. 8 and 16, 24. PHX, home of the phoenix. Home of the phoenix suns. Ari, heir of, the heirs of. Zona, in the zone. New Zoneland. New Zoneland. Why was Texas and Arizona, what were they like 500 years ago? Do you know why I like to go back 500 years? Because that's 13 for me. Here, 13 times 40 equals 520 makes 526. What is 526? It's the same as 126. Why? Because it's a 0, okay, and a 1. The 1 goes in the middle of the 0. One of them becomes 360 degrees. 90 times 4 is 360 degrees. So when you see a 5, you can automatically say that was 1 or 3. But you can't really say it was 3 because in order to be here, you have to be 1 and 2. You don't come here until you're in, this one comes inside of here and you become the 3. Okay? But your life is 90. Your life is 90. 3 times 120. 126, that's the life creation. 3 times 120. But if life is 90, okay, you have to be 4. 4 by 90. Aha. So you have 3 come in with you at 4. You deposit yourself inside of 4, and you look like 5. So any actual time, because you're 1. Abba comes in. Abba, there's your 1. But you can't come in as 1. Because you have to come in with 1-4 in order to, unless you come in as just 2, but that would be only the passage and the birth. So you have to be born. You would come in with your 1 inside of 4, looking like 5. 33 times 47. Did I get that right? 33 times 47, 1551. 100, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Plus 110, plus 110, plus 110, 1 plus 110, 12, 21, 13, 31, 14, 41, 15, 51, 16, 61, 17, 71, 19, 91, 24 years ago. 4 times 24, 96, 69 rotation of the sun, 546. That is the Federation this year. Federation this year. Why am I lagging in the video? Let me go back to 1, where 5 becomes 126, because that 126, 126, because that is the light. That, okay, is the sky. This goes in here as well as it goes in here. It creates 216 hours plus 24. 24. Don't count this. This is 4 by 90, 36, 360. This is the half-life that you are. When you put this in, this lights up these two, the ring around you, 216. If we go back where 6 becomes 0, because 6 is 0, it becomes 156, the letter F, Aleph. This says Aleph on it. Aleph. 12th letter, Aleph King. 12th letter, L. EF, Aleph. Aleph King. 6 and the 5th is the 11th letter. Aleph K, this is the I. 360 is the I. Aleph KI. The N is created inside the 5. And the only way to get G is when 1 is present in here. The only way to get G is right here. 6 and 1 is the 7th letter. Aleph King. So if you have Aleph King in these numbers, let me make sure I got the numbers straight. No, I didn't. Aleph King. So you have Aleph King in these numbers. So we'll switch it to the complete opposite side and see what Aleph King says. It says Abba. It says Abba Venus arches. 6226, the arches of Venus. Forget about this. This is the light. You need 10. You're missing 4. You need 10, 7. You have 1. You have 1 and 7. But 10, okay, all zeros of life are in the center. So 10, the 0 will equal 6. It'll be 16. 1 and 6 is 7. You already have it. Now, at the same time, we're going to do something a little bit different. 1 times 6, 1 plus 6 is 76. Equals to 13. Now we have 13 through it. There was one other thing I wanted to find in here. I'm looking. I missed it. There was something else in here. 6 times 2 is 12. 1, okay. 1, okay. 1, 2, 12. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 plus 6 is 8. And 1, 9 is birth. H and I. At the same time becomes 8. At the same time becomes 12 is 20 for the letter T. 0 equals 6 becomes 26. And 26 is right back in here. I'm going like this because it comes in this way. I just don't know it off by heart. This is not something I've done before. Most of this is a lot of repeating inside of what I already know. But I'm learning on the go. The only way for me to know is for you to ask. Every time somebody comes in, regardless of what kind of connection, we are all served personally in our own perception. That's why you create your own desires. Why do you want to do that? Because that's what you have chosen. How have you chosen it? Have you thought about it? Did it just happen like that? It's all a personal deed of a personal perception that leads us in the direction we arrive, and notice for the only understanding that we deem to want to remember. So by me doing these videos, you might ask me a question. Now you know and I know, and I've doubled my memory. In fact, in this world with the internet, you make your memory so large. This is like so relaxing because the more people say things, the more we all retain a piece, the more we can walk into a room and say, I know that. And the next person says, I know that. And everything that I've said that I don't even know half of or what I can remember, everybody seems to know the answers now. That's why I shared this. This can never be. If this is the greatest thing in the world and I make trillions of dollars, I can never stop this. I can't. What does it do to have $1 trillion? Here, I got $1 trillion. I got $1 trillion. But now I need an investor and a buyer and a seller and a call me on the phone and waste my time. If I had $1 million, I'd have a hell of a lot less time for my own freedom. Always tied up and tied down. So we continue on. What else do we get? On the 126, we now turn it 126. Now we got 464. So let's switch it around and see if they can put our dice in the right location. 4 times 6, 4 plus 6 is 10. And 24, the 24 hours of the day. And Roman numeral X, 34. DC. DC, 4 by 3, 4 plus 3 equals 12 and 7, 19. 119 will create a 10 within its own. We have a 6, 4 and a 1, 9, 10 on the other side of the 8 ball. Like I said, that's one thing I didn't do on the 8 ball. It becomes a D when you split it in half. Now, if you have 1, I need 1. So you split my ball in half, I'll split your ball in half. You give me your part, I'll give you my part. Then we'll put a donut in the center, the nut, and we'll put them together. It becomes RP equaling to 34 DC. The minute you split a 0 in half, it becomes R on one side, P on the other side, because you have to bring the life in, RP. And when you split it, the nut in the center creates your I. It's RIP, rest in peace. Rest in peace, R, 18. P, 16 equals 34, plus 9, 43, 34. Christ Obama, 77. Don't forget, we said 10. 0 equals 6 becomes 16. 1 and 6 is 7 again. 0 equals 6. Spirit of 76, 7 and 6 is 13. 7, 7, 13, 7, 4, 7. 7 times 4, 7 plus 4 is 28 and 11, 39, equals to the sky. 7 times 5, 7 plus 5 is 12 and 35, electric company. Abba, the sheep, equals 47. We turn to the next one. We have 1, 2, 6 we used. We have 3, 1, 3. This one will now create the same thing. 13, 31, 44, and 31, 75, 57, 75 reversed. 31, 31, 31, 13, 31, 57. Is it no? 31, 31, 13, 75, 13, 31, 41, 41, and 13. 13 and 31 is 44, and 13 is 57, 75. It creates 88, the arch is 119. Don't forget about Richie Cunningham, right? Cunningham, a smart fox and a pig. Abraham. Brave, red and blue avenue. Brave beard, brave bearded. Brave bear, dead. Brave bear is dead. Something to do with the Indians. What does that mean? Brave bear is dead. The rave, the bar, the avenue, the brown. Brave bear is dead. Dead on means perfect. I saw that on, I went to a coffee shop this morning and they said brave bear. No, they were saying brave bearded. B-R-A-V-E, bearded. But when you look at the word bearded, B-A-R says bear or reed or reading rail. Reading railroad is the opposite of getting railroaded from B&O on Monopoly. 0, 6, and 26. Z-F. Zeph. Zephyr. Zebra. You remember when the zebra ran in that big old race? Everything keeps telling me Kentucky Derby, Triple Crown, Triple Crown, Triple Crown. What is it telling me? Anyways, maybe I'll get a little bit, if it unravels in my head. Bring in that camera. You know what happens? You go to sleep at night, right? You go to sleep at night, and while you're sleeping at night, you have this thing going like this, and you have the other one on the other ear going like this. One is taking the information from the day up, and the other one's bringing the information down. Oh, yeah, okay, I got you. And I wake up in the morning, and I go, oh, what a dream that was. Oh, God. Oh, yeah. So I have this. And at the same time, we have to remember that the two sides are linked. They're listening to us right here. Right on top of these are another pair of earphones. Don't forget, you cannot mess up the perfect world. You can only intercept and intervene in certain occasions and instances. So we did all these dice here. I want to put it back to the last one. There's so many things. There's 5 and 2. 5 and 2 is perfect. It's in the center. It's 7 and 13. Okay, and 2 and 8 is 10. 7, 10, 13, which creates 16 to light. 16 will connect to 76. 8 will connect to 4 and 2. 14. 1 and 4 will create 5 in between. 8, 6, and 2 will create the light of 1 and 6. Remember, we don't come into the world less than 3, and we come into the world with the 4 corners of the globe. Unless we were only supposed to be 3s and just spin like a propeller. But apparently we're not, and we spin inside 4. Like this. This becomes 7. This is the only one that can become 7. Did you know Earth and Mars are the only 2 planets of the planetary system that don't have the letter U? I'm going to do one more thing. You know what? Sometimes we get up in the morning, we're not sure what we want to do, and we don't want to know if we get online what we're going to put up with. I'm trying to stay consistent in my voice, that even if you're not understanding, that you can leave it run and this maybe something will pierce your ear. Unless your ear's already pierced, well, you'll have another piercing today. And what I do, I seem to pierce everybody every single day, and they wake up no holes, ma. 3, 4, 3, 10, 12, 10, 12, 11, 10, 11, 12, 9, 10, 11, 12, 19, and 23 is 42. Let's see what happens on the other side. 2 is on this side, 5 is on that side, 7. Crack the egg open. 7, 11. Whoop, now I have to find the angle. 7, 11. Seven, 11, 5, 7, 11. What is that? 3. 3, 11. So if we have 3 and 11 on the inside, right away, the game of pool. The red balls in pool are 3 and 11. The difference is 8. So if you go 3 and 8, you're saying the Quran, you're saying church, you're saying woman, you're saying the passage into this world of Allah is 3 and 8. If you had 8 and 11, you'd have the spirit 19, where the 3 creations could pass on through. In between 2 is 1. 2 is holding on the side, 1 passes right through, and there you go. Or is it the wing? You hold on to the ropes. You hold on to the matrix. You slide all the way into the body. Raphael 7286 and a constellation of Pegasus. There is one other setup I wanted to show, and it's this one here. It goes, this is the design of it. I don't know which way to go with it. This is another roulette setup that I saw. 3, 9, 15, 21, 27, 33. 5, 11, 17, 23, 29, 35. Same thing on this way. 1, 7, 13. 1, 7. Isn't that funny? 1, 7, 13. This is a difference of 6. This is a difference of 6. 19, 23. Okay, now all the numbers you see are red. All the other ones are black. This is the other setup. Now, do we make it this way? Is this the way our time goes? 11. Here, let me, since I'm already into this an hour, let's just do this. Look. So we do it this way. 11, 11. There you go. There you go. And then you want to take a look. Then we'll probably get this one over here and this one over here for the digital. And then this one over here and this one over here. And wouldn't that be your digital time? Would that be a good Jacob's ladder, a good way to climb up the ladder? 11, 11, 11. Now what goes 13 equals 18 equals 9. 30 equals 9. 42 equals 6. 9, 9, 6. 54 equals 9. And 66 equals 3. So you have 6, 9, 6, 6, 9, 3. So that would be your rotation. Your rotation over here, okay, which would be 19, 21, 19. Kentucky, New York, Kentucky. 21 is Kentucky. Oh my God, free parking in Kentucky. Free parking in Kentucky. Who's free parking? Is it a parking lot or is it a stable? If Jesus was born able in a stable, that is the same scientific effect. Raphael, I never want to end this because as I'm going, it's flowing. If I just take a position on doing something, anything in numbers, any combination, right now the equation I can add to it and bring it out more precisely. I seem to be all over the place because it takes so long to get something so small done that I seem to lose myself. I get out of contact because I see a secondary element and I start talking about it and I forget about the first one. It's all about the cards. It's all about the old ball game. Just the words. Just the words. Which way does the letter go? They said it in Bugs Bunny. Which way did he go? Which way did he go? Is it left or right? Is it from behind? Is it 0, 6 or 6, 0? Is it Lo Shu Chaldean Pythagorean? Is it gematria or Kabbalah? Is it the science, elements, effects, astrology? Can it be the way you sit? You're slouching. You're sitting on a three-point chair. On a pyramid, you see 3 sides, but you don't see the ass. So take the pyramid off the floor and look underneath. There's 4 sides. A 3-sided pyramid has 4 sides. A 4-sided pyramid has 8 sides. Well, if you put 2 together and you put your asses together, a 4-sided pyramid has 10 sides. When you take the 4-sided pyramid, right, the square in a pyramid, it has the floor. Now, what we're going to do now is take one 4-sided pyramid here and take one 4-sided pyramid here and bring them here. This side is flat against my face. This side is flat against my face. The other sides are this way. This one is this way. The other ones are this way. Flat, 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 flat. Up and down, in and out. Mine is this way. I'm east-west. If I turn my head this way, inside a Rubik's Cube, you're turning 4 by 90, 360 degrees, and we're on our bicycle, and the rims are turning around, the bolts are holding my hands around each side of the steering wheel, my hands aren't moving, but we're advancing. So I take the 4-sided pyramid, and it has 2 seats. I put 1 on one seat here against my cheek. That's 2, and then I have 4 and 4. 4 and 4 is 8. So now I got 8 and 2 is 10. Plus, in between, what you're making roll. You're making me roll inside. Or if it was in each ear going a different way, you'd make me roll twice inside, 3 times inside. Incoming and outgoing, the receptor, and then me, the speaker. So anyways, in between the cracks, normally you would say 2, 4, 6, 8, right? In between here, 2, 4, 6, 8. Now in between here is 1.5. You're always looking for this, right? This, right, is actually, you take that out of there and you put it right over the center. Take this out of here, this crack, and take that whole crack and put it over this. That's the way it should really look. But for bedding sequences, what you're actually doing that goes here in this area here is the bedding chip. When you put the bedding chip into these areas over here and you've chipped the location, if the location comes up between 4, you get paid off at 8-1, 8 plugins. If you bet it between here and here, 1.5, you get 17-1, an egg and a gate. If you put it between just on this line over here, you get 11-1. You get the K star, 4, 5, and 6, or 7, 8, and 9, because 7, 8, and 9 will always reflect what goes with 7. If you put it in between these 2, it's 6 numbers, and it's 5-1. 5-1. Once this passes through, and on this, there's 2 circles here, 1 circle here, 4 circles here. Every circle was worth a 0, or, you see that? There's not a circle. I'm not looking at the circle. I'm looking at that dot in the center, and that dot in the center, and those 2 dots in the center. You see the way the 6 dot is down there at the bottom, and the way the 9 dot is all the way at the top? Well, what about these? Reckon with these. The 9 goes into the 8, the 6 goes into the 8, and you got your 7 in between, right? 6, 7, 8. This went down 1 to 8. This one went up to 8. When you have 0 in between 2 numbers, you find the average between the 2 to give to that 0. Because that 0 is never 0. It's 6 on one side. It's 4 on the other side. What is it in between? 6 on one side, 4 on the other side, 0 is in between. 1 on one side, 3 on the other side, 2 is in between. But this is not a 0. This is the top row. This is the middle row, here and here. That's your cross. It's much different from the other rows. Raphael 7286 and a constellation of Pegasus. Blah, blah, blah. That's all you do is blah. We still don't understand you, Mr. Tactans. Well, man, get on the train. Hold on a second. There's F and L and Lamed. You got 4 and 4, 8 with 1 that rolls 8. 1 that rolls 4 and 4. But you're 11, because 1 on each side, that rolls 4 and 4. You have 3 windows. On the back side, you have an exclamation point. If I turn it up this way, You got a whole dead center. 1 fits between the front and the back. That's all you have to know is the difference, the bow and the stern. Bow and stern. When you bow to an ass. Because what's in front of you? Nothing. When it's this car over here, you're heading out to the highway, right? But when it's all the trains in between, there's an ass and a face, and an ass and a face, and an ass and a face, and you're all linked up. Oh my God, look at the star. It's an 8 star. Well, they're all 8 stars, but here's north and south, because when this is rolling, right? You see this thing over here? This is rolling around this, pulling the train. So the east and west, right, is the one that makes the train, and this is the support of the train. So we have to understand the differences. Is this a Z or a 2? No, 3, 6, 5, 4, 7. 365, 47. Now if I turn around the other side, this is 145, 69. 145 means 1 in the foxhole of 6-9 rotation. Because fox is 45 in the red hole. He turns orange from yellow. And didn't you know what happened to the fox? He met the chicken on the road. Chicken talked his head off. Talked his head off. The fox was yellow. I'm telling you, the fox was real yellow. Okay, but the chicken, he talked so much. He was a rooster. He gobbled so much, and his whole head started to turn red. He met the fox in the road, and he started to talk to the fox, and all of a sudden, the fox started to turn a little red from his yellow, and he became orange. Cunning as he met the rooster. Cluck, cluck, cluck. Scratching 1 foot at a time. What do you think these animals are doing? They're thinking for us. They're on the earth, and somehow they're helping us, talking to the information network, because the cat and the mouse and anything that moves and anything that doesn't move is an element of creation of the package deal. You came here, you were delivered with a package deal. Die in the street, we'll turn you into termites, eat you back up, put you back into the ground, but don't worry about it. We took your body, we recycled it. Aren't you happy you recycled when you left? But you came back up, we're going to give you something brand new. Brand spanking new. Now I got to do the word spanking. Is there any words you want to know? T for Torah. O-R. T-O-R. How about Q-O-R? Torah, Toran. Koran. Inside the word Torah, inside the word trust, Torah, Quran. It's all the same combination. Torah starts with a T, the 20th letter. 0 equals 6, makes it 26. Transformation, transition. Between 2. T. T is on here. 1 line down here, 1 line across. Which way is T? Which way is your dice? I'll take out these 2 on the outside, put the 1 from the other side in the center, and I'll create my T. I don't need these 2 on the outside. I only need the 1 in the center. The 1 in the center counts for the outsides. This one tells me I can go below. I can go out. I can go below. I can go out. But I come out through the center, and I don't need the other 3. They're like invisible. T, 26th letter. T, the 20th letter. 0 equals 6, 26. Equals 8. 0, 8. The Q, 17. 17th letter. 1 and 7 equals 8. Same thing. 17 is on one side of the board of 18. Once you pass that to 20, it's on the other side. 37, connect them together, Nibiru. 2 sides, the top right hand and the bottom left hand. 135 degrees times 2 is 2 70s. R and R. 70 and 70 made by VD. Jack Queen in French. Parts, wings, broken up. So now we have 20. And then after 20, we have 23, and then we have 26 again. So there's 2 of them. There's 2 26s and there's 2 23s. There's 134. But there's a 26. There's not a 91. There's not a 52. There's not a 42. Okay, there's a 32 reverse, 23, 32, And 26 is reversed 62. 26, 62. Can't reverse 34. 43, 34, no good. 24, 42, no good. Oh, you could do, sorry, you could do 24. You can do the 24. Wow, 26 you can do, 27 you can't do. Okay, listen to this. I have to change something. Because in French, they repeat the numbers 17, 18, 19. We can't repeat 27, 72 because there is none, okay? Where else is there? Where else am I going with this? Can we repeat 28, 82? No. 29, 92? No. But we can repeat 26 and 16 so that we'd have the sweet 16. Inside 17, 18, 19 is the lowest we can go with that. Is the queen, the queen, the R, and the S, QRS. That is 54, representing Federation of the Sun. Okay, that's why we can do it. That's why in French there's 3 areas that we can use the number 17, 18, 19, 3 different times. And it's good in almost 40 numbers between 80 and 100 and 60 to 79. 60 to 79 and 80 to 99 is where it can be used. 38 numbers, again, the church. 270, 135, plus the gateway, 277, October 4th, October 3rd, and October 4th. 103, Jesus Christ of Mercury. 163, all the laws of football in the days of the Mayan. And 104, 164, Zion, Israel. October 4th. Last year we blew the horn on October 4th, the 277th day. In all actuality, it's 600 and 210 is 810 Venus, and 21, 831, the 8 heaven of AC entry last year. Now we add on the leap year. Add on 3 days. We have at 834. Now we have DC, AC, DC. Now we add on the real leap year to 365, 277 times 3 plus 278. Creation, 911, King 9. The 11th letter is a K. Rotation, 6, 9, 6 and 9, and 11 is 70. Now I can say anything, but I understand it differently. When we flip it over, 60 and 11 is 71. And that's the gate. The 1 gate of 7. The 1 gate of 7. Not the 2 gate of 8. 2 gate of 8, time heaven. The 1 gate of 7, spirit world. Time heaven. Rotation. Everything by 3. 3, 6, 9. 6 is 9. 6 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 6 is 9, 15. 1 and 5 is 6. 6 and 3 is 9. It becomes 0, 9, becomes 6 and 9. 6 and 6 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 6 and 9 is 15. 1 and 5 is 6. 6 and 3 is 9. And we keep repeating the same scenario. That way in pi, we come to pi, there's a whole new ball game. These are the basic numbers for pi. Do we go in the 7 world, the 10 world, the 13 world? Which world? There's no 0. There's no 0. 0 is somewhere. 0 either is around the center or it's who runs around the center. 1 hour and 18 minutes. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus.